turn right.
It's in there then?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Didn't you say that about coming here then?
yeah.
Now turn left.
Well, mind you, might be an alright, mightn't we?
Yeah, I think so. Right. Depends what the
You
car.
have arrived at your designated road.
Thank you, Mr. Satnag.
Depends what the car parking's like. I was going to say. What is this?
I think this is the car park here.
Yeah.
It's not very big.
No, it's not very big, and there's about space for half
One
a dozen
little up.
cars. Yeah, it's not a big car park.
It's not big enough for a motorhome, really, is
No.
it?
Okay, we've never been here, have we? Ever been? No.
No, never been.
Never been to Thetford Priory.
Been through Thetford loads of times and round Thetford, but never here.
So it seems to be closed on Christmas Day.
They're founded in the early 12th century. Very
Holy
close.
relics.
Yeah.
Became a magnet for pilgrims and burial place of the Earls and Dukes of Norfolk until suppressed by you-know-who in 1540. Wow, it's quite extensive. Thetford Priory was one of the largest and richest religious foundations in medieval East Anglia, and it was a home of monks in the service of God. It was founded in 1103 by Roger Bigod, who was a close associate of William the Conqueror.
It's one of the largest
And-
priories in England.
One of the largest, yeah. And it was affiliated with the Benedictine Abbey of Cluny in France. That's quite huge, isn't it? Okay.
So it's very similar to Castle Acre Priory then, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause that was the same order.
Was that Benedictine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Clunies,
Yeah.
and also William the Conqueror link.
Yeah. Well, I think as soon as they got here, didn't they? They really wanted to sort of lay down the law, and this is who we are, and
Yeah,
this is what we do.
yeah. Well, Norfolk was one of the main places they came, wasn't it? In the
Yeah.
Wales?
Yeah. Let's show how powerful and wealthy we are.
Yeah.
Just it's amazing that
That
tower.
stood like that. Isn't
Yeah,
it? As if
that's-
it's
yeah.
been bent by the wind or something.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably weathered, isn't it?
Yeah.
I recognise that sort of idea because that would be the altar, wouldn't it?
That's right.
So this is the First Lady Chapel. So that would have been the steps up to the altar.
There's some more steps there.
It's even grander. Steps here, aren't there? And it's remains of the altar there as well.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
There's some words here. This is the tomb of Thomas Howard, Duke of Norfolk, victor of Flodden Field in 1513. Died in 1524.
Is he the Howard that was related to two of Henry VIII's wives?
Oh, was it?
Was it Catherine Howard and
Yeah.
what was the other one?
You can see all the pillars that would have been here.
Yeah.
Obviously taken a lot of the dressed stone off, haven't they? The Presbytery. So the community gathered here in the Presbytery every day to celebrate divine service. So the daily devotions were structured around the offices, 7 services at regular intervals throughout the day and night. Mass would have been celebrated before the whole community each day on the high altar at the far end of the building, which would have been over there. The monks would have sat in wooden stalls that faced into the interior of the church. As first constructed, the presbytery was a shorter structure than appears today. Its high altar stood in a semicircular recess or apse, projected from the tall finger of stone that survives to the right of
This
the interior. In the 13th century, the presbytery was enlarged and squared off. At the same time, a new lady chapel was constructed on the far side of the presbytery to house a miracle working statue. A miracle working statue of the Virgin.
So that's that over there then, that chapel over there.
Yeah. Tomb of Thomas Howard. That's
Who we were looking at.
yeah.
It was there.
It was intended to stand in Thetford Priory, and it's in the parish church of Framlingham.
Yeah, so it was obviously going to be there, but was moved.
Okay. And it says in 1313 there was a riot in the presbytery. For some unknown reason, a mob broke into the monastery. The prior and several monks fled to the church for sanctuary, but several were killed at the high altar, and valuable church goods were taken away. Trouble in 1313. This is the first sacristy. Wow. So you can see all the pillars that would have been here, all the way down. A lot of them look like they've melted, don't they?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so there's got the nave altar there leading down to the high altar.
I remember that in St Albans Abbey, that you had
Yeah.
the altar further back and you had the huge one further up there.
Yeah. I mean, just gives you an idea of the size.
Of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it said it's one of the largest priories.
Yeah. It's incredible, really, isn't it? You think what we've lost here, and all these places that we've been to, all been sort of ruined, and
Yeah.
what would it be like if we still had them?
All the stones sort of taken away.
Yeah. So they met the same fate, didn't they? They robbed it for houses.
Yeah.
Just sort of a few sort of fancy stones left.
This is what it would have looked like in 1530.
Oh wow! That would have, rivaled anything in Rome.
Yeah.
It was designed on a cross-shaped plan with a nave, two transepts, and a presbytery. Proportions and detail in the church are similar to those of Castleacre Priory.
Yeah.
The Cluanic houses were celebrated for the richness of their furnishings and architecture. From the fragmentary surviving evidence, it's clear that arcades of the nave had unusually complex detailing, and that the interior was lavish. The nave was the most public area of the church and accessible to all, and divided from the transepts and presbytery by a screen expanding across the whole interior. In the centre of the screen would stood a nave altar, the base of which survives, that we just looked at over there.
That's right, yeah.
Above this hung the rood, a large crucifix set to either side with figures of St John and the Virgin. The principal entrance to the nave was through a facade set with two towers. Fragments of the rich architecture detailing the facade can be seen in the foundations behind you. That's this. Gives you a little glimpse of what it might have been like, I suppose. But yeah,
Steps over there.
yeah, there would have been steps behind us. But yeah, wouldn't that
That's
have
where
been
we were
fantastic?
yesterday, and you can see sort of similar idea.
Similar
around
idea,
there.
yeah. Castleacre we were at yesterday, and that's what it would have looked like here. But a lot more of this has gone than at Castleacre.
Yeah. Yeah, both sides there's steps there. And
Yeah.
the other corner there's steps.
Yeah.
Probably would have gone up to the gallery.
Up to the galleries, yeah. Yeah, just a little glimpse, a little idea what it might have been like.
So this is the northwest tower.
Yeah. imagine some of this is to do with the latrines, isn't it? The well here, though.
Oh. That's just it then.
Mm-hmm. Can't see a sign for this. Dormitories, possibly. What was going on here then?
It's an outer parlour back there.
Okay.
On the wall over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Outer parlour. This is a
Prior's house.
the Prior's house.
Yeah.
Right, Prior's lodgings. Yeah, so a bit like at Castleacre, he would have had his own sort of house off to the side. Not sure what's going on there.
What's that?
Looks like Tudor windows, aren't
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
they? Yeah. Great big archway here.
Yeah. His own well. Yep, put on the well, of course.
Another fireplace, I guess, as well.
Yeah, there's just this kitchen in here.
Yeah. Was that a door? It was a bit low for a doorway.
Well, they were shorter, weren't they? So,
Not that short. that's your short, isn't it?
hey.
I think they're trying to shore up some of this by the looks of it.
There is a board out here.
Okay. So that's the Prior's lodgings, and it says after the dissolution in 1540 it survived and continued being occupied as a house for another 200 years, and obviously had some alterations by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But by the 1820s the roof had been removed. It said it was a roofless ruin by the 1820s. That's actually, it says 1770s a view of the ruined Priory church, but the roof of the Prior's lodging was still visible. So it still had a roof in 1770.
Yeah. Until, what was it,
1820s, and it was a ruin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it would have been Tudor times, wouldn't it? People
Yeah.
living in it.
Yeah.
Probably had sort of like a shield or something over the door. And
Yeah, it says some of the arches were 12th century. The round arch was 12th century,
yeah.
and the one by the door there. But obviously they put square bricks in, and probably in the 1700s.
Yeah. They probably filled in some of the windows.
Yeah. Well, they made a right mess, really, didn't they? Right, we just come up the Brandon Road. I think it's the B1107. Yeah, so there's plenty of parking here. And this is Thetford Warren Lodge.
Built by one of the priors of Thetford Priory in the 1400s.
Okay.
I'll tell you a bit more when we get there.
I suppose when you see this much sand, it always reminds you that this area must have been at the seaside
Yeah.
at one stage. Yeah, so here we are, Thetford Warren Lodge. A rare survival from a lost local industry, a rabbit warrener's lodge. So it was built in the 13th century, late 13th century, by the monks of Thetford Priory in the centre of their warren, an area of land set aside for farming rabbits. A lucrative business in medieval times, rabbit meat was eaten at banquets and fur was used to line the robes of nobility and royalty. The monks employed a warrener to manage the warrens, similar to the role of a gamekeeper today. He lived with his family on the upper floor of the lodge. And you can still see the fine fireplace high on the wall. The lodge was built with thick walls and narrow windows, protect from attack against attack from poachers who stole the valuable rabbit skins. These were stored on the ground floor along with equipment such as traps and nets. From the 1530s, Warren was owned by a succession of different landowners, but rabbits were still farmed here in the early 20th century. So I was saying, you said by 1900 the lodge had additional accommodation added on either side. Warreners continued to live here until a fire destroyed the wings in 1935. And that was the size of the warren as well.
Wow.
Probably larger than modern Thetford, watched over by the warrener from his lodge. Okay. There's the fireplace. It was a really substantial fireplace there, wasn't there?
Well, that being their lodgings, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
On the first
on the
floor.
top, yeah.
They kept everything else down below.
Yeah. I've still got the wooden roof. But you can't go in, unfortunately. Yeah, someone's thrown a dog poo bag in there. What's up with people?
I don't know. His nose is going crazy.
Yeah, these spiny rabbits, Pops. Got bars on the windows. No. Actually, arrow holes, aren't they?
Yeah,
Arrow slits.
defensive bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I suppose you think about it, a really sort of high value product. So you can see where the add-on bits were.
Yeah.
Apex of the roof up there.
Yep.
Must have been a door through to it there. And a door upstairs.
That's a peaceful here.
Sorry?
That's a peaceful here.
Yeah. Rabbits were once a vital part of the local economy. From the late 12th to early 20th century, an area of landscape in Norfolk known as the Brecks was famous for its warrens, places where rabbits were farmed for meat and fur. They thrived in the Brecks because of dry climate and light soil, ideal for burrowing. But by the 18th century there were 20 warrens in the Brecks, producing over 20,000 rabbits from their annual culls. Meat was delivered to London and Cambridge, as well as local markets. Fur was processed into felt in local factories and used to make hats, which sent as far afield as South Africa. And that's the factory in Brandon where the rabbit fur was processed and made into hats. They used mercury to treat the fur, and it caused workers to suffer from symptoms similar to madness, hence the saying mad as a hatter.
Oh, is that where it came from?
Yeah. So warrening died out in the 20th century as rabbit fur fell out of fashion and the virus myxomatosis killed many rabbits, affecting the quality of their meat. Today there are no active warrens left in Britain, but rabbits are still a familiar sight in the landscape. And that's a photo from 1910. Warreners on the Elvedon estate. They used ferrets to chase out the rabbits from the underground and probably kept them in boxes, as shown here.
That's further down the A11, isn't it?
Elvedon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Elvedon's there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
We're sort of here, aren't we?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for today. We've had a look at the Thetford Priory.
Yeah.
We've had a look at Thetford Warren Lodge. We were going to have a look at the Holy Sepulchre, but
It seems to have lots of closed gates on
so
it.
it's not so holy at the moment.
No.
Right, so if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, Remember, subscribe and hit the notifications icon, and you'll get updates when we release another video. Poppy, what are you doing down there?
We're looking for rabbits.
Looking for rabbits, yeah. Right, so it says Thetford Priory was one of the largest and richest medieval foundations in medieval. Hang on, let me do that again. So it says Thetford Priory was one of the largest and richest it survived after the disillusionment. Is that right? Dissolution. So that was the Priory. And following the dissolution of the Priory in oh my goodness,